This is a true story from the Bible, from the book of Matthew. Our story begins with a man named Peter. Now, Peter was a great man of faith, and he absolutely loved God. He was so devoted to his faith, in fact, that he became one of the 12 disciples or followers of Jesus. Now, Peter witnessed many of the miraculous things that Jesus did on their journey together, and he heard many of his incredible teachings as well. Now, one day, one of these very same teachings had just happened, and afterwards, Jesus went to the top of a hill to pray on his own. Meanwhile, across the way, the disciples were in big trouble. They had gone on a boat and gotten trapped in the middle of a huge storm. The humongous waves thrashed their boat from side to side, and the wind howled all around them. Suddenly, as they looked out into the water, they noticed that a man who looked like Jesus stood on top of the waves. The men became super scared because they thought that the only way this could be possible is if he was a ghost. But Jesus declared that they should not be afraid. But Peter was still unsure, and so he called out to Jesus, saying, "Lord, if it really is you, call me out into the water." Jesus answered back with a smile on his face and told Peter to come to him. Peter stepped eagerly out onto the soaking wet surface, and he began to walk. Step by step, he headed towards Jesus, all while keeping his eyes completely fixed on him. Yet, on his way, Peter started to notice the howling wind and the crashing waves, and he became fearful once more. The more he looked around, the more afraid he became, and eventually he started to sink. But just before he did, Jesus reached out to Peter and pulled him up. Jesus saved Peter, and when he did, he said, You have such little faith. Why did you doubt me?" Jesus then led Peter back to the boat, and once they arrived, the storm stopped. The disciples were so amazed by this incredible power, and they praised Jesus.